Let's be honest. When you hear the word discipline, what comes to mind? Probably punishment, right? Restriction, something boring you have to do. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if discipline isn't a cage at all, but the actual key that unlocks your freedom? So that's the big question we're going to tackle. Is it a cage or is it a key? Is it something that limits you, or is it the very thing that helps you become the strongest, freest version of yourself? Seriously, the answer here could change, well, pretty much everything.
Okay, so let's throw out that old definition. Here's a new one for us. Discipline is the mastery of you. It's what frees you from being yanked around by every impulse, every fleeting emotion, every little ping from your phone. It's about you being in the driver's seat of your life, making choices on purpose instead of just reacting to whatever happens.
And to really get this, we're not just going to talk theory. We're going to look at two of the all-time greats when it comes to discipline. These guys were from totally different worlds, but somehow they landed on the exact same powerful idea.
So on one hand, you've got Marcus Aurelius. He was the emperor of Rome, for crying out loud, dealing with war, plagues, people trying to betray him, you name it. And he used this intense self-discipline to stay calm in the middle of all that chaos. Then, on the other hand, you have Miyamoto Musashi, a legendary samurai from Japan, totally undefeated in more than 60 duels. His skill wasn't just about the sword. It was about his mind. Two completely different guys, one powerful lesson. Discipline is the path to freedom.
And the first thing they both teach us is that this whole journey, it doesn't start out there. It starts right here, inside your own head. The first battle is always the one within.
This quote from Marcus Aurelius, it's everything. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Just think about that for a second. The world's going to do what it's going to do, right? It's unpredictable. People will let you down. Your plans will fall apart. The only thing you ever really, truly have control over is how you respond. That's it. And that's where all your power is. So how did these guys actually build that mental strength? It wasn't just wishful thinking. They had exercises. First up, negative visualization. This sounds dark, but it's not. You just imagine losing the things you care about. Not to be a downer, but to feel crazy grateful for them right now and to be ready if things go south. Second, journaling. Basically, a daily check-in with yourself. Figure out your thoughts, see where you went wrong, where you went right. And third, and this is a big one, voluntary discomfort. This is about intentionally doing stuff that sucks a little, like taking a cold shower. Why? To prove to yourself that you're tougher than your desire for comfort.
And this is why that training is so important. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And isn't that the truth? I mean, how many hours have you wasted worrying about something that never even happened? So much of our anxiety is just made up. It's a story we tell ourselves. And the best part? You don't have to listen to that story. It's totally optional.
So their whole approach wasn't about wishing for an easy life. It was about training to be strong enough for a difficult one. For Marcus, running an empire was his gym. For Musashi, every single duel was his training ground. They got it. The hard stuff isn't getting in your way. The hard stuff is the way.
All right, so we've talked about the inner world, right? Mastering your mind. Now let's pivot to the outer game. How do you take that inner strength and turn it into real, consistent action in the world? This is all about building habits that you just can't break.
Okay, we've all felt this, right? You get this huge jolt of motivation, you're going to change your whole life, and then by Tuesday, it's gone. Poof. That's because motivation is just a feeling. It comes and goes. Discipline, though? Discipline is a system. It's a promise you make to yourself to show up even when, especially when, you don't feel like it. And here's the secret sauce. Discipline creates motivation. The action comes first, the feeling follows, not the other way around.
So how do you actually build this system? 3 simple keys. Number 1, habit stacking. Just piggyback a new habit onto one you already do. Like right after you brush your teeth, you meditate for 2 minutes. Easy. Number 2, accountability. Tell a friend what you're doing or just use a simple app to track your progress. Make it real. And number 3, this one might be the most powerful, environment design. Make it easy to do the right thing. You want to work out in the morning? Lay your gym clothes out the night before. Simple.
Okay, now we've got to talk about the biggest enemy of discipline in the world today. It's not some ancient foe. It's something that's in your pocket right now. It's the relentless 24/7 war for your attention.
Miyamoto Musashi had this brutally simple rule: do nothing which is of no use. Wow. I mean, just stop and think about that. What if you actually lived by that? How much of your day is filled with stuff that is honestly of no use? How much time and energy could you get back? It's a game changer.
And let's be real, your phone, your social media feeds, they are not neutral tools. They were literally engineered by very smart people to get you hooked, to hijack your attention. So in a world like this, being able to focus, to choose what you pay attention to, that's not just a nice skill to have. It's a superpower. It's an act of rebellion.
So how do you fight back? How do you reclaim that superpower? It's through something called deep work. Here's the playbook. 1. Block out some time where you will not be disturbed, even just an hour. 2. Pick one important thing to work on. 3. Get rid of all interruptions. Phone in another room, notifications off. 4. Just start. And yeah, it's going to feel hard at first. Your brain's going to scream for a distraction. But pushing through that uncomfortable feeling, that's where the magic happens. That's where you make real progress.
And you can set yourself up for success with some simple tactics. Do an app audit on your phone. If it's just a time waster, delete it. Turn off every single notification that isn't from a real person who needs you. Set up screen-free hours, like the first hour of your day. And here's a good one. When you get that itch to just mindlessly scroll, make yourself wait 10 minutes. A lot of the time, the urge just disappears. And boom, you just want a little victory for your own focus.
But look, at the end of the day, this isn't really about a bunch of tips and tricks. It's bigger than that. It's about a fundamental shift in how you see the world. It's about viewing discipline not as a chore you do sometimes, but as the very foundation you build a good, meaningful life on.
There's this amazing quote that says perfection isn't achieved when you can't add anything more, but when you can't take anything else away. That's the core of what you could call minimalist discipline. Real strength, real clarity, it doesn't come from piling more on top, more goals, more apps, more stuff. It comes from stripping away the junk so that what's left is essential, powerful, and pure.
And this idea applies to everything. Think about your money. Freedom isn't just about earning more, it's about needing less. Your health. It's not about one crazy workout, it's about the quiet consistency, day in and day out. Your relationships? It's about being fully present with a few key people, not just having 1,000 online friends. And your time? It's about creating moments of actual silence, so your mind has a chance to recharge. And this part is so important. Real, sustainable discipline is not about burnout. It's not about hustling yourself into the ground. That's fragile. That system will break. True discipline is about creating a rhythm for your life, a smart system that includes not just hard work, but also intentional rest. You have to recover. Even the Emperor of Rome and the world's greatest samurai knew they needed to rest to stay at the top of their game.
So, we're back where we started. The obstacles in your life, they aren't getting in the way of your life. They are your life. They are the path. Every single challenge is a chance to practice this, a chance to get stronger. So the only question left is, what's your obstacle? What's that thing in front of you right now, and what are you going to do about it? How are you going to use it to forge a stronger version of yourself starting today? The choice, as always, is yours.